Hello and welcome to another episode of Lit Happens, Saskatoon's showcase of literary people in Saskatchewan. And we're thrilled today to have another guest with us, Marion Mutala, whose children's book, Baba's Babushka, has done phenomenally well across the province. So, Marion, can you tell us a little bit about your story?
Well, thanks for having me, Wes, and it's great to be here talking about literacy and books. And my story, Baba's Babushka, A Magical Ukrainian Christmas, is a story about Natalia, who's out playing in the snow. And it starts snowing babushkas, the Ukrainian headscarf, and one lands on her head. And she's suddenly whooshed up and taken back to Ukraine, and she finds out all about the traditions of the Ukrainian Christmas Eve supper.
That's such a wonderful premise for a book, and I think one thing that I've noticed you're really doing with your book is you're really educating children and adults about Ukrainian heritage and its strong roots here in Saskatchewan.
Yes, there's lots of roots in Saskatchewan, but in all of Canada, and I think the Ukrainians are really loving the book, but everyone seems to love the book because it's a story about family and the love of family, and also about different cultures too. And I picked the Ukrainian cultures, but I think when people hear my book or see my book, they want to get in touch with their own roots and their heritage too.
Absolutely. Well. I know when I first saw the book in the Shrine, McNally Robinson, and it grabbed me right away, and I said to myself, I have to have this book.
Yeah, well, thanks for buying it. You kept me #1 at McNally for many times.
Now, speaking of that, the book has only been out since late 2010, and I believe it's already a bestseller.
Yes, I've sold 2,000 copies. Yes. I was #1 children's book at McNally for the year 2010.
Yes.
And I also was #3 of the top 100 books, too, that were sold altogether. So it took me by surprise, but it was a great surprise.
What an accomplishment.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, another thing that was very appealing about the book was it has the illustrations were so breathtakingly beautiful. Can you elaborate on that at all?
Sure. Wendy Siemens did the illustrations, and she's the art teacher at St. Joseph, and she did a phenomenal job, but she also said it was the hardest thing she ever did. She used pictures from my family, and they're the main characters in the story. So my mom is the Baba Sophie, and I'm the little girl in the story, so I'm Natalia. And my grandparents, who this story is kind of based on because they immigrated in 1912 from Ukraine to the Hafford area, and they're photoshopped right in the back in the wedding picture. Oh. And my dad's in it, my sister, so my whole family's in it, and she did a wonderful job.
So your family, you and your family have been immortalized now to a degree. What are your relatives' reactions to this?
They're as surprised as I am, but they're loving it, and they're saying, "Can I be in the next book?"
Yeah, yes. It's as a published author too. It's interesting how people approach you and want to be in your stories, which is very inspiring. So what's next for Marion Mutala?
Oh, well, I'm working on a trilogy, and I'm hoping by next Easter to have a book about Ukrainian Easter, the Pezanka or the Pizanka, and also I'm going to do a Ukrainian wedding, so I'm hoping by the end of this I'll have a trilogy, but I'm also doing other writing. I have poems published, so I'm working on a poetry book, and I've even written a murder mystery, so if I ever get that underway.
That's great. Yeah. It seems to me, you told me you've recently retired from 30 years teaching?
Yes, I taught 30 years, and I was a teacher librarian, so this makes it even more exciting for myself.
Yes, you're right in your element here. Now, you don't have a website, but I believe your publisher does, and it's your Nicholsworth Publishing, is that correct?
Yes, Heather Nichol, who's excellent.
I know Heather Nichol.
At yournicholsworth.com.
Yes.
Yeah, she has it on her website.
So we can certainly check out the book and order it or whatever, find out more information through that website.
Yes, you can, and I believe McNally and Coles and Indigo's all have copies too as well, or you can get them from me.
That's right. So, and if we can just give Heather Nichol a plug, she's done wonderful things for the literary world of Saskatchewan.
She is phenomenal.
Yeah, so let's throw one out there for her.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Thanks, Heather.
Yeah. Well, thanks for being another guest on this show. It was great to have you here.
Well, thanks for having me.
You bet.
Good luck.